Hey VC, I'm back with another video. This is a Goodwill slash thrift store haul because I got one thing from a new thrift store that opens a couple weeks ago. They had some records for decent prices and I found one. And then the Goodwill haul, this is, I'm going to say, my second best Goodwill haul because my number one best was when I found all those CDs that time, which was amazing. But I found some amazing stuff this time. This was all one trip, which absolutely blew me away. So anyway, we'll do the thrift store thing first. The album I found was the Heavy Metal movie soundtrack. I've been looking for this for a while. The cover's in pretty good shape. It was only $4.99, which is a good price for this, actually. It's just got some great stuff on here. You got Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, Blue Oyster Cult, Veteran of the Psychic Wars. You got Cheap Trick, Grand Funk Railroad, Sammy Hagar, Journey, Nazareth, Stevie Nicks, and others. And the records are near mint, and the cover is really nice. So very happy to add that to my collection. And then on to the Goodwill haul. Found a bunch of cassettes, CDs, books, records, everything. The cassettes, they've been having tons of sales at Goodwill recently. And with the stickers and everything, the colors they have, these cassettes cost me like 20 cents a piece, which was fantastic. So the first one is David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat. I've said before how I am about David Lee Roth. Not a huge fan of his solo stuff. Not a huge fan of the Van Halen stuff with him, but he is a decent singer. But the reason I picked these up is because they were 20 cents. I wasn't going to leave them behind. And then you got Eat 'Em and Smile. Then we have Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. I do have a copy of this on cassette already, but for 20 cents, wasn't going to leave it behind. And then Kiss, Lick It Up. This is an album I haven't ever heard, so figured I'd pick that up and give it a listen. And then I found probably my favorite Def Leppard album, High and Dry, which I also have on cassette already, but for 20 cents. Then I have this on cassette already, Love It for a Sting by the Scorpions. And Foreigner 4. Didn't have this on cassette, and didn't have this album on cassette, Asia, self-titled. One of my favorite albums ever. And then we'll go to the DVDs next, I guess. Found 3 DVDs. They're all music related. First one is Chris Ledoux Video Hits. Just some of his music videos. Chris Ledoux is one of my favorite country singers. So that's cool. Then we got Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same. Not a huge Led Zeppelin fan. But this has some concert footage on it and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then this I was absolutely blown away to find, and these cost me like 50 cents a piece after the markdown. Iron Maiden Live After Death, the DVD. I've heard the album a million times, but I have never seen the actual concert. And this actually has a second disc that has some other concert footage from like Rock in Rio '85, and then some Texas footage and interviews and stuff like that. So I cannot wait to watch that. That's super awesome. And then found some CDs, I guess we'll do next. A bunch of these, didn't know what they were, but they were like 25 cents a piece, a quarter. The first one is The Creeps, Blue Tomato. Looked like some punk stuff, so I picked it up. I'll probably end up sending this to you, Greg, because, you know. And then found Double Barrel Country, Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. Just some of their stuff they did together, and then some of Conway's solo stuff. Then we have Willie Nelson's Spirit, one of his newer albums. And when I say newer, it's from 1996. Never heard it before. Then found Shooting Star, It's Not Over. I actually like their music. They're a rock band from the 90s, I want to say, late 80s. Then Giant, Time to Burn. They're just one of those bands I've heard of a bunch of times but never listened to, so figured I'd give that a try. Then I found Jessie Coulter, The Best Of, and Outlaw a Lady. Love her music. Then actually found these couple albums, which are going to surprise a bunch of y'all, I'm sure. I actually do listen to her music. She's one of my favorite female singers. It is Adele. Found her album 19, 21, and 25. And you know, like I said, I do like her music, but I wasn't going to pay 10 bucks a piece for these CDs, but to find them for a quarter a piece, couldn't pass them up. Very happy to have them in my collection. Then I found Heart Brigade, one of my favorite Heart albums. Then Survivor Greatest Hits, just another compilation. I have a couple greatest hits from Survivor with the same songs, but for a quarter. Then Hank Williams Jr., America, The Way I See It, just a compilation, some of his best songs. Then we have Dangerous Toys, the Scared single. Then this was an interesting find. I almost left it behind, but I looked on Discogs on my phone, and this is actually worth quite a bit. I don't even know how to say the names of the bands, really, but it's just a split called Horizons. I think it's Arvindale and Hala or something. It's some death metal music or some weird stuff, but I looked and it was hand numbered out of 120 copies, at number 83 of 120. And turns out this is actually some I did some research a while back, but it's from the Middle East. It's some Middle Eastern death metal that's like anti-Islam or something, and this is actually pretty rare. I think when I looked on Discogs, it's going for like $40 and $50 for the CD, so definitely going to try to resell that because I don't listen to this music, but that was just a cool find for a quarter. Then I found one book. It is Motley Crue's biography, I guess, called The Dirt, Motley Crue. I've looked at this book before, but didn't buy it because, you know, it's usually like 15 or 20 bucks, but found this for $1. Definitely looking forward to reading that. And I found a couple 45 singles. First one is Elvis Hurt, backed with For the Heart. It was a quarter. And then Cat Scratch Fever and Wang Dang Sweet Poontang by Ted Nugent. So that was cool to find. Then I found 3 records. First one is Roy Buchanan, You're Not Alone. I had just bought this on cassette at a Half Price Books about 2 weeks ago, but found the record for a quarter and couldn't pass it up because it's a great album. Then I found Aerosmith, Night in the Ruts, an album that I hadn't heard before, but it's one of their early albums, so definitely looking forward to checking that out. Then this one, couldn't pass it up because the cover is, because of what it is, the cover's a little beat, but the record itself's in really nice shape. There's some scratches, but it plays really nice without skipping or anything. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, an album I didn't have in my collection. Like I said, the cover's pretty beat, but the record, I'll see if I can show it on camera, if it'll pick it up. It's in really nice shape. It does have a few scratches here and there, but it plays nice. Looks really nice. I mean, it's really shiny, got a nice gloss to it. So yeah, I was definitely happy to find that. So yeah, that was my little Goodwill thrift store haul. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.